Hey there, Selective Collective. This message is for you all today. I am going to pull from the Oracle of Genetic Gifts, and we're going to take a look at maybe some Ascension symptoms or Ascension gifts and abilities. The intention is, anything that comes out are the things that are being amplified at this time within you, within maybe a certain group of people here in the world, right? So the Oracle of Genetic Gifts is going to let us know about those things. So yeah, let's see. This should be interesting. An interesting reading for people that try to keep up with the changing energies and are very aware of shifts, right? So that's what this is. So let's see here. Spirit guides, angels, give me some messages for the Selective Collective. Let them know what's being amped up at this time. Tones and frequencies. For sure, tones and frequencies. I have clairaudience, clear hearing, which can mean different things for different people. Also, regarding how you're hearing. So, for my experience there was a certain time when there was like a tone or frequency never really left, and then as I'm doing readings, it never left. It was about 5 years ago, around 5 years ago that it started, and it never really left. And then as I do readings, whenever I'm hitting on messages that are like really important, or they're wanting me to repeat a sentence or a phrase that I just said, then I will sometimes get extra confirmation, like a even louder tone or something different in a specific ear. Now, I have heard clairaudient, I've heard an actual voice before. That was my mother when she passed away, the night that she had passed away. After she had passed away, her voice came to me, and so that was pretty amazing. But that specific, with her saying her voice, I think it took a lot of energy to happen, because I've never heard anything like it since. But I also, I've shared with you before that her soul felt amazing to me when it was outside of her body. Like it was when I felt her presence outside of her body, it was big. And so I totally understand how she was able to do it. But so some of you all might get actually hear, in a with your spiritual ears, I guess you could say. Oh, I have had one more experience with clairaudience. I forgot about this. I don't know how I could forget about this. This was when I was doing, it was prayer. It was deep in prayer. Yeah, I remember now. I was deep in prayer, and it was late at night. I even remember the time. It was like around 11 at night. And as I'm praying, I'm hearing, which I now know it was very hard for me to tell the difference between my spiritual ears and my regular ears, but I feel like it was spiritual. It wasn't something that anybody else heard, but it was a choir of angels. And and there was a lot of doubt with me when I first heard it too. I'm praying and I'm like, what is this? This sounds like angel. It sounded angelic, people, almost like a symphony, but it was there weren't any words. It was just it sounded like angels. So I checked my headphones that were next to me to make sure it was so real. I wanted to make sure it wasn't coming from the headphones. Okay, is anything turned on? There was I'm going to say that there was a lot of, not necessarily doubt, but there was a lot of I had to rule everything out. It lasted for, I want to say about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. It was significantly long, for something like that, for that type of experience to happen. That was pretty amazing. And that was during prayer. So that was interesting. Trying to think if there's any other clairaudient. So I have a specific theory too on the clairaudient, because I will tell you that when the tone, which you could think it was tinnitus or tinnitus, however you pronounce that, you could have thought that it was that, but I did go to the doctor because 5 years ago I probably ran to the doctor for everything. Yeah, pretty sure I did. And thinking something was wrong with me. And so all those things were ruled out. But later on in my journey too, I started getting more and more into sound healing. Even moving from binaural beats to things that included morphic fields, auditory, sound healing. And I noticed, this is very similar. A lot of the healing frequencies were very similar to the frequency that I'm actually hearing on every day, day and night. And it's kind of loud. It took something to get used to, actually. But I feel like there are certain people that are open and ready to receive healing from and more assistance as the veil thinned. I think that's when these tones were actually even bringing in healing to us. So that's kind of how I look at it. I don't think that's a bad belief to adopt if it's going to help me here. So maybe it will help you to look at it like that. So yeah, that could be coming on board, maybe bigger or more, something stronger, louder. Hopefully not louder. Hopefully not louder. What else? Tarot deck creator, you are a visionary. Okay, it doesn't have to be a tarot deck, but you are a visionary with something that you want to create. I'm going to take that one off the bottom too. Tarot deck creator, or any type of artwork, I would say, any type of art, or, well, a visionary is just somebody that has a grand vision for things. And maybe this is coming also from this card of your vision, because they have the shaman. Wow. Natural healer, soul retrieval, and earth magic. Okay. So, and specifically they have the dream catcher here because there's a lot of work that does go on in the dream state with the shaman, maybe with you. So you could feel an actual direct tie to shamanism. That's a thing. But I'm taking this in the message to mean more that your dreams could be amped up also. As far as maybe even strange dreams. Things to help you with soul retrieval. Soul retrieval. The parts of ourselves that we, for whatever reason, have pushed away or not accepted. And then, or experiences that were possibly very traumatic, and we feel like pieces of us were lost in the experience. This is retrieving those parts of our soul and being whole. I have heard out there theories about this, about soul retrieval, and different energies trying to grab pieces of our essence through fear tactics, like as food. And then it's a deal to retrieve this. That's interesting. I kind of want to pull from a different deck now that I talked about that. All right, so there with shamanism also, I'm just also picking up that you could be very into looking at animal spirit and nature, symbolism and meaning, not just maybe even from nature, but symbolism in the spiritual realm, such as a hat. It's something that's outside of nature, but it definitely has like a spiritual symbolism to it, to you adopting or playing some certain role. Okay, and protection. So there's different things this shamanism can mean, but just seeing, I'm feeling a person that's able to connect the dots very easily. Does not just pass off things as coincidence or okay, well, this just happened, and it just happened. Like, there's divine order and reason even in what looks to be chaotic sometimes. And so therefore there's meaning in all of the symbols that are around you. Don't drive yourself too crazy with that though, but you know, there are things that you can look deeper into, and so it's neat when you reach that point. So I'm just getting like a person that has done it for so long that it's very natural to not even need to Google something. You would just know, because something is coming through you as instinct now of, okay, what does this symbolize in the physical? Now, how could that be translated to the spiritual without you really having to research it? You just kind of know it. This actually can be a little bit of claircognizant, a little help also from your spirit team. It can be, also a sign that, the veil is thinning. We're getting more input here, so things are coming. Things can feel more natural. Also, that soul star chakra that could be very much so more online, connecting ourselves more than ever with our higher selves and life purpose and path. So if you've ever had a lifetime as a shaman or medicine healer or somebody that has worked in herbal things, it's just whatever it is, you could be more tapped in. And so you don't have to have actual memories to be very tapped. Like, you don't have to be like a person that says, I was this in this past life. That's great if you can. And I know some people pull it from past life regression therapy, and it's fine. I don't have anything, that's great. But the way that I understand how it's worked in my life has been the past lives will come as like an akashic field to us in this life. Like when we need the knowledge from something that we've already experienced from a different lifetime, we can easily access it. And so you're always connected, and it is always a part of you. It's your lifetimes. You don't need special permission to access your own akashic field. So yeah. So I just see that as something that you're doing very naturally. Very naturally. It comes easy to you. And it may make you think, oh, well, this is just, maybe I'm just getting more knowledge base, and that has something to do with it, surely. But there is something here about the veil, the thinning, the shifts, and the energy, making it easier for you to pull upon these memories. Really, their memory information. Actually, it's all information, isn't it? So I have telepathy here too, with thought reading, extrasensory perception, ESP. Interesting. Okay. Well, we know what that is. We know what that is. You could find that kicking up or picking up. For example, if you're watching something, maybe you're watching a show, maybe you're watching a movie, and before somebody says something, you know exactly what they're going to say. And I'm thinking that the things that would be proven to you that, okay, this is happening with me, I am tapping in, is that it would be odd things. It would be stuff that you would be like, how did I know that? How could I have known that? Also connecting with other people, mentioning things before they mention it. Odd. Oh, I was just thinking about that. Picking up on people's thoughts very easily. Also being able to okay, we're doing it through an open heart is what I'm being told, is that we're doing it through this open, loving heart chakra. So it's going to be more effective when it's heart-centered. Communication. There could be different bloodlines too that I'm picking up that would have more of this ability than others also. Not that you couldn't have it, but that some things have been altered. Okay, so I'm going to pull from this strange deck. Go into the aliens here a little bit. So telepathy and clairaudience. What's on the bottom? Life path number 8, the financier, ruling planet Saturn. Saturn is conjunct Aries until September 1st, so we may see benefits to that as far as like the actions taken and the confidence needed to acquire the abundance that we are searching for, that we're looking for, that we need for whatever reason, for a mission, for yourself, which is the mission. The Nephilim. Start talking about bloodline. That's interesting. The Nephilim. The Nephilim are supposedly the offspring, right? Okay, let me just give you my version of the Nephilim. The Nephilim is the offspring of these fallen angels that decided to mate with human women. They were supposed to be, when Enoch reported to God, source creator, that these beings were atrocious, or they were turning into vile, mean creatures, cannibalism, things like that, teaching the art of war and supporting fighting and things like that, which it does say controversy on the card, because there is controversy as to really whether this was could it be a good part. I mean, it's all a scale, right, of the bloodline. But we do know that the ultimate decision was there. Let's bring in a flood to wipe off these things from the face of the earth. And that the theory is that some actually still existed or still continued on, and their bloodline would also carry on, and that would make it be an angelic bloodline. So, yeah, it's still angelic, is what I'm saying. It still would be part angelic. Okay, so we can have different thoughts on this Nephilim energy. But I think maybe if you had a little bit of that bloodline in you, then you may have more access to these gifts, such as telepathy, or just greater access to them. What do I have? The Merkabah. Okay, I have the Merkabah. Oh, something is going to open up within a multi-dimensional travel with you through your meditation. Maybe throughout your day, the Merkabah. I'm thinking of Metatron, which was Enoch. So those two are kind of tied together. That's interesting if you look at it the way I'm looking at it, like I'm relating it to Metatron. But anyway, the Merkabah, okay, yeah, it's a symbol of how multidimensional we are. And it's talking about our ability really to go different places spiritually, even while in this avatar here. So, going places, and maybe going different places when you meditate through your Merkabah. Maybe you could ask if this is something that your spirit guides, your angels could work on for you. Or I'm sure there is actually probably a meditation about fully activating your Merkabah, or bringing your awareness to the existence of it, of this geometric shape here near your throat chakra area. So that could mean many things for different people, right? That could mean many, many things. Whoa. Okay, I have the fire element here. And fire element is Leo, Aries, Sag, if you're zodiac signs of that, but they're just saying warrior, passion, and fearlessness. Warrior, passionate, and fearlessness. Oh, and the reptilians. Another group that would be tied to telepathy. And, you know, I just have a feeling that people have this, and there are people out there that probably have this in them. already, and not necessarily like, so you can't say, oh, this group's bad, this group, for some reason it has it on the card, but I don't think it's quite like that. Or if it was like that, like if one group's values really, really didn't align at all, and in fact blurred the line of what was good or bad with us, I think things like that are even shifting. I just get that sense. Even with this group, even with the group of the fallen angels, like I have a feeling the shift is a shift for all beings and all spiritual beings too. More towards the light, more towards benevolence. And this would be a group that would definitely be telepathic and smart, intellectual, controlling, controlling. You know, it wouldn't be far out there to say that these two could possibly be somehow even related to each other. It wouldn't be that far off. If you look at, I mean, you're not going to find it all in one text, right? You're not going to find the information all in one text. You're going to have to look at some conspiracy theories. You're going to have to maybe even read some science fiction novels of what they have said about the reptilian group. And then you can read Enoch, the book of Enoch, and make some ties. You could make ties to these two groups. I don't know why they're showing up in our reading, but I don't necessarily think that these are all bad. I just want to say that because I think that, no, I'm positive that the shift is bringing in a shift for all things. For all spiritual beings. Okay, 28 is the earth element, survival, adaptable, and reliable. So I have the earth element, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but what we have here is we have masculine energies of Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and then we have the feminine energies here of the earth. There are feminine zodiac signs associated with the feminine. Then they're associated with Mother Earth. That's the way you can look. And then these are associated with the Sky Father. So that's how I remember it. And the triangle, I always think of, okay, the triangle is pointing to something. It's pointing to Earth for those feminine signs that are associated with the Mother Earth, the feminine. So you would have water elements also be associated with the feminine, and then you have air is pointing up. So, okay, I have Starseed, and I think we'll leave it at Starseed here. Protection and harmony with the pentagram is on the bottom. Starseed, self, memories, and identity. I'm just looking at, there's two cats here, and there's definitely some orbs, and my favorite drink, a cup of coffee right there. So I have the Starseed. Wait a minute. I have the Starseed. That is you, right? That is you, the Starseed. Okay. So, speaking of shamanism, I want to get some information here from the Animal Spirit Oracle. Oh. I'm just being pulled to the underground tunneling, and making a connection of some kind of like elite individuals who seem to be doing this whole underground stuff too here lately. There's just some sort of connection that they're for some reason bringing to my awareness. Whoa. The spider. The black egg. So that's interesting because that would be representing your throat chakra area too. The mouse. The gazelle. Stingray. Starfish. One more. The nightingale. Well, that's appropriate to have underneath the black egg for sure. Okay. You can see all these. Sure that you can see them all. Okay. The spider. I know that this is about your connections and bringing about prosperity here for yourself. So that much I know. Okay. We have the spider. There it is. Creator of prosperity through life's work. Your Dharma. The spider being the ingenious creator. Yeah. Intricate web here into it. The gift of living your Dharma here is that you will be supported financially and spiritually. It reminds us creativity is everywhere. And weaving this is a magical process. Playful creativity. So you'll be weaving your dreams too. Let's take a look at this little mouse here, which could be detail-oriented, nitpicky, it says. It's when we are trying to tie up all the little ends or get every little thing. There can be, if it's off balance, the mouse can be over attention to every little thing, and it can be overwhelming. But I think this is just time paying attention to the small things. Yeah. Meaningful purpose or projects. The gazelle is interesting here coming out with you all because here, and I think it has something to do with the telepathy card also, this gazelle, because the gazelle is heightened awareness, and you could find, I'll read it to you first, and then I'll tell you how I think it ties into that telepathy. So I have heightened awareness ability. It says it represents supreme grace. With every move, awe-inspiring beauty amidst sophistication and elegance. These personalities are hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering hyper-vigilant. Yeah, so this can inhibit them from actually enjoying the beauty that they've been cultivating. So it says, no more worrying about all the predators in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. So it is talking about, and it's just talking about being artistic. I think this is about being hyper aware, and it's connected to the senses, 6 senses here. I think it's connected to that, and so you could find yourself getting overwhelmed by every little thing, especially if these abilities were like kicking in a little bit more than they ever have before, or where you feel like you are more sensitive, you're picking up more things, then I think that it can be overwhelming, and there may be a need for more little blocks of time throughout your day where you make a point to just breathe, center yourself, and focus, even if it's 5 minutes, but just making a point like this is part of your schedule now, is to wind down, and be present, because of being so hyper aware of what's going on. And so it does also mention this beauty, right? And then we have the starfish, which is beauty. And I went right to it. Beautiful, alluring. This energy is mesmerizing to all. Beautiful. Being around someone with the starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under the spell of divinity itself. Okay, so this is telling you to keep it balanced by not becoming over-reliant here on how you look. But I think this is you're about to stand out, because I see it connecting with this fiery passion element here. Standing out. We know what the star represents in the tarot is having your wishes, your big time wishes fulfilled, but also standing out, and the stars being aligned, being seen, really being seen. The nightingale is about singing your song in the throat chakra and not being afraid to do it. And the black egg is similar, because it's very much so the same, and it's talking about the throat chakra and about speaking from your authentic voice. These two cards together could mean that it is time for some sort of testimony of yours to be spoken aloud, or sharing something. Feels like testimony, like a testimony. 10 of Cups. Let's see what the tarot says as far as what's coming here for the Selective Collective. What's coming from the tarot? Oh, and if you're interested in a private reading, the website is back up and running. Yay, thank you. Who helped me? Appreciate you. If you want one, the information is in the description box on how to get one. I saw the Ace of Swords. I was wondering if the swords was coming out. Okay, so we're going to put it upright. We'll put them all upright for the sake of the type of message it is. It's going to be in the upright. Wow. A spiritual experience that you may have soon. A very deep spiritual experience. Exhibiting fearlessness even when in the dark. Because I have this very strong King of Swords. They stand up. They just know a lot. They know a lot. They're wise. They're intellectual. And then the Panther. Okay, so and then we have a tie here, similarity between the black felines. The Four of Swords, rest and recovery, taking time out to connect, meditate, speaking with spirit, speaking with your angels. I have another king. So I have another king. I have the King of Pentacles. We have two cards that really represent the actions that are going to be taken, or you being like, you knowing what next steps you need to take or what actions you need to take, especially here in the realm of finances, because that was that life path number 8, the financier, and this King of Pentacles, somebody who's very good with money, or a business person, business minded. Maybe you are and don't even know that you are, but you're about to find out that you're really good at making money. Yeah, you have the know-how. You have the know-how. You have the, I knew this card was going to come out. This one's interesting, because this one can be about, the Seven of Swords can be like when we are, you look at all those swords and you can say, those are the weapons. Those thoughts are the weapons. This strategy is my weapon. I'm not going to give it out to anybody else. So you collect them, you take them. So for you keep them to you. Developing a strategy, a plan. There's something here about that, especially on the earthly and regarding earthly matters. Look, we have the King of Wands, King of Wands, King of Pentacles, King of Swords. Really strong energy here saying that you have the ability to come up with some sort of strategy that's going to help you build what you want to, and some things that you maybe weren't sure if you were good at or not. It is a new energy. So you can go on YouTube, you'll find a lot of people that are they might bring you down. Okay, they're usually talking about the old system, which, yeah, it's still going on right now. But it's not working very well, and people are talking about it, right? But so this is saying, no, you have your connection to spirit. You are the light, you are the way here. There's something you're meant to pioneer, which is how to be successful in this new energy. And you being connected to your Dharma, your life purpose, and your light, that's where the shift is, What is it says in as prophecy is the meek shall inherit the earth, right? It's a prophecy about a changing of times. A changing of times where the old control and fear systems isn't going to work. And so the people that were really successful at it are going to find that they're having some problems, or the people that were just in it doing the motions are going to find that even the motions aren't working anymore. It's like if you were on a hamster wheel before. I just see this hamster wheel either breaking down or just like it's never stopping now. So that energy's, you're here to make a strategy, and they will definitely help you if you go within, because the veil is thinner, and you're more of a champion of this cause than you really know yet, because I have a feeling it's going to have to do it. Sorry, I'm being choppy here with my channeling, but it's coming in choppy. You are more of a specialist, or you have the more ability to transmute this new energy and to be successful by stepping into your life purpose. And so you will be reaching that, and then you'll be a light to others. You will pioneer how to have great success in this new energy. You are the starseed that's doing this. Okay. Yeah. Divine timing. It's divine timing for this energy to come in. Spirit, if we can get just a little bit more information on the strategy, and then I want to wrap up because it is getting kind of close to my 40 minutes mark here. Okay, so navigating hard energies at this time, no doubt. 5 of Swords. These are those energies that want to pull you off, or that want to distract you, or tell you, that's not a good idea. They may be even angry about you going about something in a different way, but I feel like you're meant to. So you could see more anger, aggression, or hostilities here. I have the 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles reverse, and 3 Cups. So even though you might see those hostilities, don't worry. Don't worry. The 5 of Pentacles reverse is you releasing your worries of earthly concern and money and health problems too, even, because they're going to be all right. You're going to be pulled out of a difficult situation or a hardship. It's more than a hardship. Look, it's a complete energy shift. It's a complete energy shift. I get it. And so the 8 of Pentacles here is you using, and then this is a beaver. This is a hard-working animal, right? And so you are going to be able to use your skills, your abilities to be prosperous. And the 3 of Cups says, yes, here's your abundance, your playfulness, and the fun in life you'll be rejoicing. You'll be celebrating. And Spirit is already saying they're celebrating your work that you came here to do. So those are your messages. I'm sending you so much love and light. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.